It's going to get whistled down one more time. There you go. Game over. Harry Wilson hand in heads. But I tell you what, Harry and the guys have played a great game. I'm hitting the chat right now. We are into the post game. We're going to go through the stats. But 1-0 on the day. Canada have made history. 2 wins in Europe, back to back. Never have you seen that in your lives. Never have you seen that in your lives. Back to back in Europe. And the thing about it is, I'm going to break it down to you. If this was a World Cup scenario and Canada's just won 2 matches in Europe, that's like a North American team going to Europe and doing well at a World Cup. And that does not normally happen. That is what is not supposed to happen. 2 wins, and let's not forget something. 2 clean sheets. You're in the post game. 2 clean sheets. You got to add this up. And when Craig Bellamy yesterday at the press conference and before the game was saying, we got to be at our best or we will get hurt. He knew what he was saying, and he had a lot of respect for Canada. And I have a lot of respect for both teams, and both teams played us a great match here tonight. But I tell you, it was the difference of 1 goal. Derek Cornelius, the free kick. He's your man of the match, hands down, in my opinion. Throw me your man of the match. I'm going into the chat. Then we're going to go into the stats. But I tell you, fantastic game, evenly contested. We'll get to the stats. But yes, on the day, Wales 0, Canada 1 from Swansea.com Stadium. And it was a beautiful scene all through the match. Absolutely gorgeous. And outside the stadium, before you got to see the game, if you had chance to see the scenery that they were showing, you'd have fell in love with it. You'd have fell in love with it. Picture perfect scenery. Absolute brilliance. Back to the game, into the chat right now. Wow, what a game. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Cody Massey, De Rosario days. Absolutely, absolutely. Cody Massey remembers De Rosario days. Yes. Yeah. Sat with Dero, interviewed Dero. Great guy. Really straight guy. Nice guy. Normal guy. Brilliant guy. Yeah. De Rosario. Brendan Dunn, the only thing that would help them now is Braveheart. Hey, I tell you what, I think they were bringing it. David Beach, hey Stevie, you are sweet on Wales, Canadian living here in Argentina. Argentina, ¿cómo está mi amigo? Bienvenidos. And thanks for commentary. Cannot get the match to see. You know, if you can't get it down there, I wonder why. That troubles me because Patagonia, the Patagonia fans have definitely got to be able to see Wrexham. So I wonder what's, and we're going to roll up with this. But tell you what, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Also, Ovane, got to say, would be hilarious if Snoop Dogg yet he rolled up. That Snoop Dogg comment, that was hilarious. That hilarious. And one thing is, over the halfway line, there is a Welsh flag with "Eat more chips, don't eat salad," and win. That is funny. I didn't catch that before, but Ovane Hainford, he says, above the halfway line, there is a Welsh flag. Eat more chips, don't get salad. Don't let salad win. Don't let salad win. As in salad. Funny, funny, funny. That is so funny. That is so funny. That is so funny. I tell you. I tell you. I was surprised with the substitution of Kiefer Moore not happening and Brennan Johnson, etc., etc. But I guess maybe they're carrying little knocks. I doubt it. But maybe they're getting ready to get back on their team. But like I say, Dane St. Clair, you could think could be worthy of a shutout and man of the match. But the goal of the match and the defender of the match was Derek Cornelius. And that's the way I think it should be. So I'm saying straight up, man of the match is Derek Cornelius. Whatever you think, you let me know. But history's made, guys. History's made. That is unbelievable. 2 wins on the road in Europe. Bang, bang, bang. If you ever see that again in your life, I tell you what, it's going to be years away. Years away. It really will take a long time for that to ever happen again. So again, senior crowd, we're living it up, man. We're eating the salad as well as the steak and the beers right now. We're living it up, watching the great stuff, watching the results, watching it all happen, having some real good feel about ourselves, yeah, in Canada. For decades, Welsh fans, we had no good feel. The 1986 World Cup was a long way back in history. And from then until recently, nothing. So we had no good feel. Now we got good feel. Wales has got good feel. You got a good feel all the time. You got great teams all around you too. So we didn't. We do now, and it's great. Into the stats. That's where I'm going. One more. Brennan Dunn, not to mention Canada's defense. No goals, 2 wins. Brendan, you just said it right there. No goals, 2 win. Dave Beach, hey, Stevie, you're sweet on Wales. Love it too, mate. Love it too. And going for the stats, let's go for Wales first of all, yeah? Keeping you involved. And I hope you did enjoy that match. And it wasn't CONCACAF. It was better, wasn't it, eh? It was so much more fun. And the crowd, so much more into their team in a different way, yeah? In much a different way. European football is so much different than CONCACAF. And I like it a lot. Wales, stats. 6 shots on the game. Only 3 on target. 63% ball possession. 479 passes. 83% pass accuracy. 16 fouls. 4 yellow cards. No reds. 1 offside. And 3 corners. Not bad. Canada. 12 shots, 2 on target, 37% possession, 267 passes. I doubt it. There was more than that passing. Pass accuracy, 76%. Fouls, 16 like Wales. Yellow cards, 3. 4 offsides, 4 corners. Pretty decent. I'm going to bring up the match scores from other games around the world for everybody else because I did promise at the end of the game we would be. Look at me lit up now. Look at them white lights going bright. Yeah. Azerbaijan 1. Ukraine 1. Way to go, Azerbaijan. France 2, Iceland 1. Oh, and it's 90 minutes plus 7. So it's coming down to a win for France, but Iceland got it close. Armenia 1, Republic of Ireland 2. Not good. Hungary 2, Portugal 3. Okay, let's have a look at this. I have to, because you know what? The man's on the field. Let's put it this way. Let's have a quick look back. Hungary take the lead on 21. Bernardo Frivaga. Bernardo Silva equals up on 36. Cristiano Ronaldo scores penalty on 58. Varga scores on 84 for Hungary, so it's 2-2 right at the death. And then João Cancelo gets the winner for Portugal on 86. 3-2 to Portugal. So they squeak one out. Herzegovina, Bosnia lose. 2-1 to Austria. Bosnia, Herzegovina 1. Austria 2. Cyprus 2-2 with Romania. Romania were winning 2-1 at half-time. Get this, and I'm bringing it up for you. You won't bloody believe this. You won't believe this, geezers. You won't believe this. Norway 11. Moldova 1. I'm going to say Moldova scored with Østigard on 74 because it was a bloody own goal, right? So Norway scored all the goals. But get this. Mira gets 1 on 6. Erik Haaland gets 5. 11. 36, 43, first half hat-trick, adds 2 more in the second half, 52 and 83. Odegaard, Arsenal, he gets 1 on 45 plus 1. Asgard gets a hat-trick, 4. Asgard gets 67, 76, 79-minute penalty, and 90 plus 1. Yeah. Norway wins 11-1 today. 11-1 over Moldova. How are you going to go back home feeling after that, eh? Wow. One guy gets 5. And one guy gets 4. Unbelievable. Albania 1-0 over Latvia. Serbia 0. England 5. I'll give you the scorelines. Kane, Madueke, Konza, Guehi, and Rashford. 5 goals. And Milinkovic was sent off on 72. So England added 2 once Milinkovic was sent off. But 5-0 on the day. Not a bad night out for the England team. And those are your international matches so far. Like I say, we've done your stats, but yeah, on the day, a magical win. Canada's next game up is coming up against Australia, October 10th. That's in Montreal, Quebec. Get ready for that one. That's going to be a great game. Then it's Colombia on my birthday, October 14th. I'm going to get nutted for that one against Colombia, and that's in Harrison, USA. And after that, if you didn't know, another game's coming in. Ecuador, November 13, and Canada's definitely going to be adding another game in November is what I'm saying. I can see another game coming. I'm going to add you to tell you what's coming on with Wales as well, because we're talking both teams as we close down. But Wales itself losing on the day to Canada 1-0. That's the second loss this year. So right now, Wales is 3-2, 3-1-2, 3 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses on the season so far. Next game coming up for Canada is in London, England at Wembley against England. Then they play Belgium at home. Then they play Liechtenstein away. And finally, North Macedonia at home. So lots of interesting times coming for Wales. But on the day, a 1-0 loss for Wales at home to Canada. Not a bad loss. A great game. Could have gone either way. And with a bit more luck, yeah, Wales could have got possibly the draw, maybe snatched the win. I did call for the 1-0 win before the game for Canada. It happened. And you know me and my predictions were pretty good. But you can also say this. I could have been so wrong. And it could have been 2 crossbars or a crossbar and a post that goes in and makes it 3-0 and makes my scoreline look not correct at all. At the end of the day, 1-0 is what I was looking at. That's what happened. Into the chat. Brendan Dunn, not to mention Canada's defensive, no goals, 2 games. Brilliant. Yes, we just called that one. Yes. Next on, no CONCACAF. Ref helps, no phantom calls. Isn't that the case, hey? Isn't that the case? I like the feel, literally the total feel of watching European games. I love World Cup games. I love the Euros. I love Copa America in a different sense, more so how the management of the game is from the players' side, not the referee's side. But when you're looking at Europe and you're looking at CONCACAF and different parts of the world, and like I say, with the World Cup, you certainly can see how that exposes itself, and it's not something that you want to engage with all the time. Yeah, I'm not literally against CONCACAF. I'm not saying that, but it took years for us to get good at it. Now our players are getting smart with it. Now we're using the referees for our own benefit, like Latino American teams, South American, not South American just, but Central American as well. So we've learned over the years how to play the CONCACAF game. And Europe, you don't need any of that when you're playing European teams. You can just go out there, go about your job, and forget about the CONCACAF additive. It's like a bad coffee or a good coffee, whichever way you want it. But you can forget about it, and you can just play the game. And you get out there with Romania. You saw the Romania game, how that flowed beautifully. You get out there, you see the game tonight, how that flowed beautifully with Wales. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. But moving on. Stevie, did you do English announcement in Edmonton World Cup qualifiers with Honduras in 23? I certainly did, sir. I absolutely did. Yeah. And I did in 2007. In fact, have we got one? Yeah, in fact, I'll show you something. You just hit on something. As we get closer to the World Cup, I've got in my little box some of the things that I used to do. That one there, okay, you can obviously see where it's from. And the little maple leaf logo, we designed that here in Canada for that World Cup. That was the logo for the World Cup. That was where young, what was his name? Sergio Aguero was one of the star players of that tournament. So as for announcing, yeah, I've done them all over Canada and a few other places in the world. And you'll be shocked. Professional football, definitely. Professional football teams announced, just a couple of teams, Everton, River Plate, LA Galaxy, Whitecaps, Toronto FC, a few other teams. But mostly it's internationally. And it's literally World Cup qualifiers. And it is also World Cup finals as well. So that's where I did a lot of stuff, love to do it. And it's a lot of fun. But as I said before, when we started this, doing World Cup or international matches here is actually as much fun, but more. Because the only thing you don't ever get, when you've got a microphone in a big stadium and you're talking to tens of thousands of people, or you're doing this for the TV, and you're talking to how many people, you can't see anybody talking back to you or hear anybody talking back to you. When you're doing a live stadium, you can hear the crowd react. Now, I did some, just to make this short, I did a few United Soccer League games at Commonwealth Stadium for the Edmonton Aviators. Edmonton Aviators back in 2004. Didn't last long because they went broke. But I believe you give people your lungs. So people could hear me through that stadium in different parts of the city of Edmonton when I was doing it in Edmonton, because I wanted to be loud. I wanted people to be able to hear it, to get into it. It's like in the old tribe when someone's beating the drum and the drum's beating, everybody's dancing. When everybody's dancing, that drum starts to get a rhythm. And when that rhythm's going, your head starts moving like mine and your hands are doing other things too. Then your feet start tapping and you're in there. I believe the rhythm of football is the microphone and the announcer. He's the shaman of the event, and the shaman has to get it all right. And the shaman gets all your names right, all the pronunciations right, and he gets it with lots of passion and lots of noise. That's what I believe an announcer should do at a stadium. And I had people coming up to me after the matches saying, "You spoke so beautifully our African names, yeah, or our Korean names, or our Czechia names. You said our names perfectly." And I said to them, the most important thing for me at a football match while I'm announcing is not just the game, but it is the people who make the game, who play the game, and their names must be perfect. So yes, you would have heard me back in the day, absolutely, no doubt about it. And I loved it. I loved it. David Beach, Steve, I did. I'm saying that. David Beach, I did. And a few other things too. Kyler, 41, buddy, how you doing? Hi, Steve, just popping in to say hi. Big win, another step forward. I really want to beat our cousins, the Aussies. I tell you, Australia's coming, yeah? And we got a lot of Australian fans in this channel that watch the Wrexham side of games, yeah. So it's going to be pretty fun, yeah. I think we're going to have quite a big grouping of Aussies. I know we're going to have some New Zealanders in here as well because they're on the channel, yeah. So it's going to be quite interesting. But you look at the games coming through. We just had Wales, Canada. Can't get any better for me. Now it's next is Canada, Australia, yeah. My brother lives in Melbourne. He's Southern Hemisphere. I'm Northern Hemisphere. I'm here. He's there. Or as I joked the other day, if we're on flat Earth, we're there. And you can laugh at that. There's the flat Earth. And but yeah, Aussies are coming. That's going to be great. And then after that, it's Colombia and then Ecuador. Good, up to you, my friend. I'm going to the Ecuador game. Brilliant. Brilliant. You know what? FIFAscup@gmail.com. That's the email. FIFASCUP. Good. Send us an email. All the details when you go, and we'll try and get something done with you. Yes. David Beach, back at you. I did the French and Spanish announcements sitting beside you in Edmonton. You know what? Your name was certainly twinging a bell in the back of my head, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, I remember it. And you know what? We had a great time. And I remember Glenn. Glenn was the producer at one of the places that I was working in the stadium there at the booth right to the end. And I always had this one thing. This is how I keep it together in a announcing booth. And most people who've seen this will laugh. And if you haven't seen this, you will laugh. But every time that I was ready with the guys, and incidentally, we'd be in that booth, the announcing booth, and it was big. It was big. We had the big one. We was in the announcing booth for like 4 hours before the match. That's FIFA protocol. 4 hours before the match. And literally, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds before we were going on live. I did this every time we did a match, and we did a few. And I said to the guys, I said, you know what? I said, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I am not into this. I'm so not into this today. And then the other guys would say the same thing straight away. And we'd all start laughing our asses off. And literally, as soon as we stopped laughing, I'd hit the mic and we go live with the announcements. And true story. Absolutely. But yeah, Dave, I think I'm thinking like my mind's going, I know this name. And I'm getting a flashback. And now you just answered it, mate. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for not leaving me in limbo. But yes, remember, yes, I do. And Edmonton, fantastic memories. Brilliant. But anyway, I'm going to say this, shutting it down. Brennan Dunn, not to mention Canada was the underdog in both games. Are they going to be favourites for the Aussies? I would say we are favourites against Australia. And I would say Colombia is definitely favourites against us. if I was going to shoot out live right now, I'd say, because of my brother, I think we need to beat Australia 2-0. And he'll be like, yeah, whatever. Because he's definitely turned into an Australian right now, mate. And obviously I live in Canada. So it's kind of interesting, North and South Hemispheric. But I'm saying for Canada, Australia, totally brilliant game. It's in Montreal. See, this is the interesting fact. It's going to be in Montreal. Very passionate crowd, yeah. Them French love football, man, and they get into it and they give you everything, yeah. It's going to be a really good atmosphere. I hope they sell it right out, which they should, you know. But again, there's enough people down there in Montreal, Quebec, to get that building sealed, signed, filled, and get a good atmosphere around it. They need to make that like a festival for 24 hours around wherever the game is and just go nuts for it, just to show people how we do it. Yeah. Anywho, I think that, yes, Canada should be favourite. And there comes a time where you have to start to become a little bit more, not big-headed, but more rational and have more rationale in how you're looking at your team now. And I'm talking me, and I'm talking you. I'm talking us. We just did something on the road we've never done. 2 away wins against it all. It's absolutely phenomenal. You don't get to win 2-0 or 2 games back-to-back in Europe if you're from North America. You're supposed to drop one. You're supposed to probably get battered in one and come back for another. You're not supposed to have energy for 2 games like that. The substitutions, the tactics, I'm not saying flawless because it wasn't, but it was very good. The way we looked on the ball, the way we battled, we didn't look out of place. We looked at that level. There was a worry a year ago that we'd lost the ebb and flow. We've got it back, and we're getting it back in buckets. And what we're adding to the squad as well is making that bench swell with quality that can come on, keep us in the game, or dictate and change the game. Jesse's got a squad working now. He needs to keep it together. And what we've seen with how he looks after people off the match, after the match, taking care of them in the press, otherwise, etc. He's learning about this team too. It's a whole learning process right from start to finish. So I think that going towards Australia, they're the favourites. We're the favourites against Australia. Colombia's the favourites there. Ecuador, I think you have to go 50-50 on that one. Ecuador's a bloody good team, yeah? So could be even across the board there, a win, loss, and a draw, and that wouldn't be bad. But if you come out of there with a win against Australia, you happen to get a result against Colombia, and then you manage to get possibly, I'm just shooting for it, a win against Ecuador, that's pushing you up the higher ranking end as well. So if those results come off, Canada presumably could probably wander up to maybe 26, maybe 26, maybe 25 at the outside, but certainly 27. So let's see what happens. But 17th September, the rankings are coming. We'll see where we're going. But we got 2 massive wins, goals against, clean sheets. Bada boom, bada bing. That pushes you right up the landing. I tell you, no need to help Grandma up the stairs, man. She's walking on her own now. Bang, up there you go. Easy steezy. Schützenfest fan, Volkfest und Kimmis, SSV, hi from Germany. Hello, Germany. Guten Tag, Deutschland. Liebe euch alle. Wunderbar. Schützenfest fan, I tell you. And I know who that is. I'm pretty sure I know who that is. The Schützenfest. That's the Schützenfest. That's a big festival fair in Hannover, Deutschland. So big up. NYC Nibbles bringing Nico Seeger in as a dual national was a coup for Canada. Absolutely. In all of the players that are playing their roles right now, I'd say there's like 7 players in the team right now that look like they've landed the starting spot. And I'm not talking just Jonathan David, but Nico looks like he's landed that slot and he's going to be keeping it for quite some time. You know, there comes a time where a player comes along and he sits on that team and he just owns that spot. It could be a goalie, defender, midfield, forward, doesn't matter. But he just sits on that team and he just blends right in. It's like he's been there all the time. He's just one of the guys. He's got the level and he doesn't put a foot wrong and he adds spectacular goals for a defender. Yeah. I think he's the number one, man. And being a dual national, down to Jesse Marsh and the rest of the guys at the CSA, you got to give the CSA some credits, yeah? It's not just the coach, although you could say it is. But let's face it, Seeger, definitely one for the start. I'm definitely going to keep him there. Definitely going to keep him fair. But Schützenfest fan, big up to you. And vielen Dank von Deutschland. Ich liebe euch alle. Und get some good times in the Schützenfest. Get some good times in your house of fun. Guys, coming to the end of the rainbow. If you've got one or two last questions, you let me too. Yes, there we go. Schützenfest fan. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I'm going to say something. I lived in Germany as well, yeah? Many of you guys didn't know. And at one stage in my travels, I was also liaison officer with the DFB. Crazy, hey, where this football brain has been. But I guess that's why I understand it, because I've been around the best people in football. I'm around the best people in football right now in our family, and we're getting greetings from all over the world. Today, we've had greetings from New Zealand, from Australia, Poland, Germany, Canada, USA, everywhere else, Mexico. Yeah, we've had greetings out of the Caribbean. This family of ours is spreading everywhere. And why? Because it's all about that little ball. That little ball. That little ball. Guys, I tell you, you should wear this one up until the next match, because Australia is the next match. And I'm just checking out the listings right now. Yep, there we go. Canada's games. I'm going to give it to you one last time as we go out. But October 10 from Montreal, that's going to be an absolute party. I got to tell you, Montreal, Quebec, they're going to rock it up. They're going to do us proud. It's going to be a red city. And Australia will be welcomed in. Welcomed in. And I do hope we get a hardcore plane load of Australian fans flying over. That'd be brilliant. If PJ and the guys, yeah? Guys down in Melbourne, guys down in Perth, yeah? Adelaide, if you all come over, it'd be fantastic. We'd treat you royally. Absolutely would. But that's the next game for Canada. But I'm going to say again, this has been history in the making. You're never going to see Canada win 2 games in Europe again like that, especially with 2 clean sheets, with 2 different goalkeepers, which for a coach really makes life really so much better. You're sending both keepers home with clean sheets, where it could have been 1 keeper home happy, 2 keepers home not so happy. Brilliant man management there. Got it right perfectly. But again, it's Australia. And then it's Colombia. And then it's Ecuador. And then we'll be looking for another game. We're absolutely going to be looking for another game in November. So as we go moving forward, all these games are starting to pile up. Wales on their side of their games, they got games piling up. England, Belgium, next 2. They got toughies. Canada's got tough games piling up too. And like I say, they're definitely going to add more in November. And get ready for the new year as well, because they're going to add more as well. So things are looking good. Both sets of fans. But for Canada especially, things have never looked this good. Yes, we've been to 2 World Cups. We're going to 3. But going into this next World Cup, in the form that we're in, you'll never find us in greater form. And the squad, the level and the quality and the togetherness now, it's back. It's back. And what John Herdman tried to build, Jesse Hirsch has re-erected and has got it on track. Got it on track. Guys, I tell you, one last chance in the chat. But I want to say thank you to everybody tonight in the chat. You rocked it. You brought some brilliance. We had a fantastic match. Canadian fans going home happy. Welsh fans not so happy. But hey, don't forget, next watch-along is coming this Saturday. Pre-game coming prior to Wrexham taking on Queen's Park Rangers from the Championship, live from the Keiras, the racecourse ground in Wrexham. I'm going to be all over it. Join me again. Dave Beach, maybe Seeger in midfield in front of Johnson. I tell you, isn't it funny how you put Seeger in there and he just sits in there and he blends in there like he's been there all his life, and you forget all about Alistair Johnson. That's what I did. Not literally, but I'm just saying, Seeger, he brings me more. Alistair Johnson used to bring a lot of intensity. He hasn't brought that intensity in quite a few games. I'm quite worried that he's sitting on his own laurels as a champion at Celtic and he thinks life's too easy. I don't think he works as hard as he used to. I think if Alistair Johnson comes back and starts to work his ass off, and own that right side, then yes, Nico Seeger can sit on the bench. Until Seeger gets ousted by Johnson, I think Seeger's the man I go with. Find another place for Johnson. He can go in midfield if you want, but it's all about work rate. And that's what happened tonight. That's what happened in Romania. We had work rate. Guys that came to work, guys that came to play. Jadon Nelson, yeah? Saliba, a couple of guys. They come on that field and they're playing for a starting spot. They're playing. They're begging to start. When you got regulars that don't have to start by begging for it, they slack off. They take it a bit easy. And I've noticed Johnson has not got the same intensity that he had 2-3 years ago. I'm also going to say something that will probably fire up a lot of Canadians right now. Alphonso Davies, although injured per se, not in the frame right now. There's been too many games where he plays outside of his role, outside of his jurisdiction, and thinks he's going to be Roy of the Rovers and win the game all on his own. He's not that good. He's great at what he does, but he's not a world beater. He should be reined in like Jesse Marsch does and told what his job is and stay in his zone. That helps the team better. Be great in your zone helps the team overall. So just some things to think about there, but that's how I feel about it sometimes. But in a nutshell, what am I saying? I'm saying this, and I said it in the match. Canada has a lot of weapons now. Canada has a lot of weapons now. A lot of great things happening. We're not frightened to take on anybody now. And I told you in the pregame, I'm not worried if we play France, Germany, Argentina, or any of them. On the day, this squad and team is capable of getting a result on the day. And on the day, anything can happen. You know that. I know that. It's all about the game. So again, I hope you enjoyed this match. Wear this with pride. You got a couple of months knowing that you just whacked 2 European teams in their own parks, which is absolutely not the normal thing. You should have been expecting in this one to win in Romania and to lose in Wales. That would have been expected, but we didn't. And I said we were going to win 2-1 in Romania and 1-0 in Wales. I got 1 perfect score, but 2 wins. And that's, like I said, it's going to be very hard to get that ever back together again. 2 wins back-to-back in Europe. Put that on the calendar. See when that comes back at you. Because it takes years for FIFA, UEFA, and CONCACAF to organize games. That's the first thing. The second thing is you got to win them games. And second thing after that, you got to get 2 games back-to-back in Europe. We've done that before. But we've never done this before, and doing this with 2 wins puts a smile on your face. And I couldn't lose per se in this final game, and you know why? But 2 wins back to back. Wear this, take it with you, and get ready for the next game. And I tell you what, Australia is the next one, and we have Australian fans in this channel. We have New Zealand fans in this channel, fans from around the world, Welsh fans in this channel, USA, Canada, everywhere. Get back for the next international, but get back this weekend for the next Wrexham match. September 13th, Queen's Park Rangers. September 11th, possibly recorded this time, pre-game show. I'm trying to figure out whether you want the pre-recorded or the live. But the watch along for the match coming up, like this one, it's going to be live. Have a great day today. Enjoy this. Have a great night. And keep going. Remember, 2 wins in Europe. Oh, my life.